Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Now we're going to talk about more getElement methods. So up to this point, we only use the getElementById to select elements. So now let's explore a few other methods. So there's one called getElementsByClassName. So here in this page, if I use the inspector, we can see that I've just created 3 divs with a class of example. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. And now I'm just going to create a variable called elements. And now I'm just going to use document. And instead of using getElementById, you can see that when we use the dot, we have all these options. So let's just try getElementsByClassName. And inside parentheses, we can try the class of example. Now let's do console.log and let's see what JavaScript is going to return after we execute this. So let's do console.log elements. So refreshing the page, let's go to the console. And as you can see, we are getting an array. So we have 3 elements in return. We have a length of 3, so we can access each of these elements with their indexes. So now we can do something like elements, which is our variable, and then we can just select an index. We know that this variable has 3 elements, so if we try elements with an index of 0, we can see that JavaScript is selecting this element for us. If we try 1, we can see the second being highlighted. 2, we can see the third being highlighted. So let's just select the first element. So by doing this, it's just the same thing that we were doing before, selecting elements. And now we can just do inner HTML. And now let's just redefine the inner HTML of this element. So I'm just going to write changing the text of the first element. If I do this and press enter, we can see that we were able to change the text of the first element. So we've just used the getElementsByClassName methods and we got an array in return. So now we know how to work with arrays. We've just used the index notation to do something with it. So this is why I told you it was really important to understand the data types and know how to work with them so we could proceed. Now we have a few more examples, so we can do the same thing with getElementsByTagName. So in this case, I have 3 paragraphs. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code and let me just comment this. And now instead of getting elements by class name, I'm just going to get elements using the tag name. So getElementsByTagName. Just be careful because when we were working with the getElementById, this wasn't in plural. So we had getElementById, and now we have getElementsByClassName, getElementsByTagName. Just pay attention to this so you don't get an error. So getElementsByTagName, and now let's just get all the P elements of our page. And now let's just do console.log. Let me save this and let me see what happens. So now I have 9 elements, because actually every element that I'm using to write content, so this one is a P, this is another P, another P. So as you can see, we have 9 paragraphs on our page, and we were able to select all of them using the getElementsByTagName method. So now we know that if we want to change this first paragraph, we can just use index 0. But what do we do if we want to change all the elements of our page? So we want to change all the paragraphs. Maybe we want to change the CSS, or we want to do something else with these elements. How can we do this? Well, this is where loops are gonna come handy. So this is the subject of our next lesson. I'll see you then.